Now, you might all then also ask, how does a culture change from the inside out? There is a lot of conversation about recruiting more diversity in our industry. If we recruit more women, more people of color, more LGBT, our culture will change accordingly, right? Nope, that hasn't happened. We've recruited more diversity, but they leave because recruiting isn't the answer. We have to change the way that we think about this. Now, the corporate procedures that have been put in place are very important, but they don't do the meaningful work that we need to be done. We have spent decades and tons of money trying to solve this problem with only little or incremental change. We have to change the way we think about this. The first step to changing your culture is that you have to take responsibility for it. You didn't create the boys' club, but you've probably benefited from it. Leaders have to take responsibility for the culture of their industries, their companies, and their offices. You have two choices. You can either perpetuate and reinforce the current culture by doing nothing, or you can be actively working to change it. Second, we need to be intentional, just like we are about everything else, and that starts from the moment a new prospective advisor walks in the door. We need to encourage our new advisors to be themselves instead of telling them what they need to morph into to be successful. It's not only a huge turnoff to change who you are, it's also not sustainable. Now, don't get me wrong, having advisors know what their expectations are for activity and knowing what they can and cannot do for compliance is essential, but instead of turning people into clones of ourselves, we have to help them leverage who they really are, which means taking the time to get to know them, what their strengths are, helping to develop those strengths. It takes a lot more energy and time, but it is well worth it long term. The millennials especially crave this. They want more feedback and mentorship from their leaders. They want to be known. It makes them feel accepted and supported. Being intentional also means letting go sometimes of the way we've always done things. It means getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. We're all going to have to stretch and grow our concepts of what we do to make this challenge our opportunity. Now, the third part of changing our culture is creating a culture of communication and growth. What does that mean? What I mean by that is that we have to have an environment where we can help hold each other accountable. Often once people are aware of the bias they have, if they're not given the tools to change that, they are so afraid of screwing up that they will just avoid the diverse people in the office, which does not help anything. While your culture is changing, people are going to screw up and say the wrong thing. You will too. So how do we create a way where we can talk about this and support each other while we're growing? It starts with encouraging everyone to speak up and be willing to correct even you, the leader. Remember what I said about vulnerability? If people see you take correction and feedback positively, it gives them permission to do the same. I'm going to give you some tools so that you can hold yourself and other people accountable in a supportive way. It's called the oops and ouch method. Oops is what you say when you've misspoke and you only realized it when the words have already come out of your mouth. Oops means, I wish I hadn't said that. I don't think I said that in a way that was okay. I think I just spoke from ignorance. Anybody had that happen to you? I have. Like, oh no. Oops, please give me a chance to rephrase that. Ouch is when you say when someone else has said something that wasn't okay, either to you or in reference to someone else or at someone else. Ouch, that what you said was really offensive, that is not okay, or you really hurt my feelings. Ouch, I'm going to give you a chance to rephrase that. Ouch is especially effective when you're doing it as an ally for someone else. Someone said something to someone else that wasn't okay, and you're the one that said, ouch, I'm going to give you a chance to rephrase that. I cannot express how powerful it is for a diverse person to see someone be an ally for them. This process helps us to build trust and communication with each other in a positive way. It's very attractive to new people coming in, but it's this culture of growth and learning. So, changing the culture of our industry and ourselves to be inclusive so that the modern consumer will work with us and that we can stay a vibrant and relevant industry in the future takes all of us. And it takes us making changes every single day. Changing from the inside out starts with you. So I just want you to remember these bullet points. First of all, be curious. Keep an open mind. Engage with people that aren't like you. You will grow, they will grow, the culture will change. Really stretch yourself and get out of your comfort zone and learn and celebrate about other communities and learn about their differences. You may also discover how much we are all the same. The second part, which is difficult, is be vulnerable. Be willing to dig deep in yourself and examine the things that you've been through. Everyone experiences trauma, but very few people talk about it because society discourages us from doing it, especially men. Also, be vulnerable to look at your own implicit biases and be willing to be an active bystander when somebody says something that's inappropriate and may feel questionable for their safety or comfort. Most importantly, if you forget everything else other than Barbra Streisand when you leave today, be you. The more you accept yourself, the more you will be able to accept other people that are different than you. So let your freak flag fly. Whatever that means, yes, give yourself a round of applause. I want to see freak flags flying. Your offices will attract and retain diversity. You will be wildly successful. And financial services will be a place where you can bring our whole selves to work. But it all starts with you. Thank you very much.